Hey yo, what is up? The Rinoceronte. This is my second game trying out this tank on the test server. There's been a lot of chatter and controversy about this tank and the entire Italian line in general. Today, we will put to rest and I'll tell you why this tank line is causing so much anxiety with the World of Tanks players. Now, without a doubt, the Italian heavy tank line is like one of the most anticipated new tanks that have created a buzz in the community. We've been waiting for this for nearly half a year or something. You know, and there's half the community that think this is a great tank, and then there's the other half that thinks it's trash. It's an auto reloader with a bonus reload mechanic, meaning that if you fire your gun while it's being reloaded, you can get something like a cashback reward on your next shell. You can save between 16%, 33%, and even 50% of the time it takes to reload your next shell. Now, on paper, this sounds great. Sounds like a good mechanic, sounds like something interesting that adds, something new to the challenge. The problem is, in actual practice, this new mechanic is of little consequence to your gameplay. All your senses are already preoccupied with what's in front of you, the mini-map, the enemy armor effectiveness, artillery evasion, what your own teammates doing. Am I lit? Do I have gun depression here to take a shot? I mean, there's already so many things going on top of keeping an eye out for the parentheses to be 16%, 33% or 50% better. So I don't know, man, how is this gonna work? So you see, there's just so many things going on in the game that there's really no time for you to take notice and effectively apply your reload bonuses to your actual gameplay. You know what I'm saying? Imagine having to time your shots during a brawl with all that is going on in your head and in front of you, and you've got to be efficient as well. I mean, that's not to say there's no opportunity to absolutely take advantage of this reload bonuses. I can picture a situation where you're sniping from a bush undetected with not much going on around you, and you can take your time to maximize your DPM. There are situations when this can happen, but here's the real issue. The first shell takes 15.37 seconds to reload. Even with 50% reload bonuses on your next shell, you're still going to be an 8-second reload tank at best. I think Des Games pointed out that in a 1v1 situation with a full HP T57, the T57 could clip you out, reload a full magazine, and clip you out again before you could use your DPM to kill it. That's the truth. Now you see me in this game here, I'm doing not too bad. I'm still alive. I don't have a lot of HP left, but I've done 1500 damage. I'm gonna do a bit more, but the only reason why I'm still alive here is because I have teammates. I have the 430U, I have the TVP on the flank helping out, I have tank destroyers in the base, I have a Leopard 1 sniper in the base helping me out. I am effecting very little influence into this game. The only reason I am doing relatively okay, the only reason why I'm still alive is because my teammates are taking the brunt of all the all the damage that's being handed out. If I was here by myself, if I was expected to hold this flank on my own, there was no way this was going to happen. This was very much a team event. Without my team, I would have been nobody. Now I'm going to conclude by saying, the Italian lines, the Italian heavies, great idea, but pretty awful execution. Any tank with slow reloads are just going to be at the mercy of fate. Basically, it's the RNG gods that is going to determine whether you have a good game, an okay game or not. For instance, I took a shot here. I needed to wait another 4 seconds before I could take a second shot on that 1390. He could have easily killed me there, because this tank has a 3-shot clip with 4-second intra clip. So if you can work with your team and you like hanging around a cluster of allies who can back you up, then you could do exceedingly well with a tank like this. Platoons would be great, I imagine, but outside of very specific situations or and scenarios, you'd be hard pressed to squeeze any kind of satisfactory gameplay from these tanks, in my opinion anyway. Being a mostly solo player, I can't see myself doing great in this tank line. Maybe 1 in 4 games will be satisfactory, but the other 3 games would probably be just like meh. You know, that's a shame. I had prepared 2 sets of Italian crews, 500,000 free XP in anticipation of this new line. I can tell you I won't be rushing out to get them. I'll wait to see how they develop and then decide later if I want to get them. I already have all the free XP prepared. I have the crews, 2 sets of crews prepared. So I'm ready to play this tank, but I can't see myself being a solo player and like doing really well in this tank. I think it would be quite challenging, to be honest with you. But in a scenario where team play, where you have platoons, it could work. You could do really well if you have teammates to back you up, because you have that 500 alpha damage, well 490 alpha damage. Remember, this tank has already been buffed recently. They've buffed the reload times, they've buffed the alpha, they've buffed the aim time to try and make this tank a little bit more appealing. I just don't feel that it is very appealing at the moment. It's not bad, but it's not terrible, but it's not going to be like super attractive to solo players anyway. The dispersion is pretty good, 0.32. You don't necessarily need to run IRM and vertical stabilizers. You could run this with HP boost or something else, you know, because this is not like, unlike the tier 8s and the tier 9s where you really needed to boost your accuracy. This one doesn't really need. You could, because of the 0.32 dispersion, you are getting it down to 3.0 dispersion with food and BIA. So the accuracy is pretty okay, and that's why I'm running optics, so I could spot out my enemies here. I'm taking the wide line here because I don't want to be proxy spotted by these 2 guys. See if I can get an additional clip out of my gun, maybe kill off these 2 guys. Unfortunately, they've already arrived, which means I can only get 1 shot out here, which is the killing shot on the Foch B. And yeah, 3.4 damage, 1.7 spotting damage, not like a big deal, but I definitely wouldn't have been alive without my teammates backing me up from the base, tank destroyers sniping from the base, the 430U, some teammates helping me out. I would have been dead early on in the game. So what do I think about this tank? A little bit meh. Like I said, I'm not going to full out commit to this heavy tank lines. Unfortunately, I was really looking forward to it, but it turned out to be just so-so. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.